Pastor William, Eaver, it's a fucking great gimmick. Like blessed in the world, like, and you actually did go on to become the Progress World Champion in this gimmick. You beat Marty Scurll, chapter 33. I mean, I gotta ask, how was that as a moment, as a wrestler? It's one that I think the world, it's one of the biggest titles, not just in Britain, but in the world of wrestling.
At the time, yeah. I mean, right now, I mean, I don't know. Like
yeah.
At the time, Progress was so hot. It was white hot.
Always sold out.
Everyone, yeah, always, and like the crowd was mental, magnificent. The roster, woo! Like, and then you've got little old me, who's just come up and been wrestling for about a year or in a bit, and so, brother, it's very, very intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, because you've got established guys, and it can be intimidating. That's one thing. I mean, we're going off a little bit here, but
no, that's cool, man.
The physical side, yeah, the physical side of wrestling, of course, is well known, but like the mental strain you go through, the sort of like the insecurities, you know, like the trust and everything else. And like I said, there are some good people in wrestling. A lot of like any sort of industry, you got good, bad, right? That's just the nature of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like it was a magnificent feeling. But the run up to it, I felt so like, I remember behind the curtain, Marty and Tommy End smashed it. Obviously, they're two great wrestlers. And I'm just waiting there. I remember I got new gear just to come out, and I knew what was going on. I remember when Glenn Joseph told me, I was so just thankful. Cheers. Like, this is magnificent. Like, this is a big deal. Like, and bricking it. Then my music dropped. Man, like, if anyone's seen 33 to 1, like, it was what a magnificent, like, it's just, I'm just someone coming out of the Projo, like, not too long, had a few decent matches, whatever. And yeah, like, it's just, it was just brilliant. I had in mind the crowd surf. That was one thing. I just wanted to crowd surf. I just wanted to do that. I mean, I kind of dropped the ball a bit when Jim Smallman gave me the microphone when I won Natural Progression, and he said, just be you. I said, what do you want me to say, Jim? He said, just be you. And so I just was me, and I just went off. I remember getting drunk, Chuck Mambo in the ring and saying all these things. But that was when I won the Natural Progression.
Yeah.
And I just rambled on. I thanked Steve Manelli, a great local wrestling promoter in Kent. Anyway, so they weren't going to give me the mic again because they weren't sure what I'd say. Just be you. Cheers, Jim. Love you, silly man. And yeah, just I can't explain. I remember I tweeted something. I said, you know, I could die now because I know what heaven is like. And I say that in jest. It wasn't like heaven. There's nothing like heaven. But that feeling, I mean, yeah, where I was in my career, you call it that, and it was amazing. It was just so lovely, and the crowd, 700, they were still singing and chanting as they left. It was such a great high for the crowd.
Like, even though like it was only 700-800, it felt like a WrestleMania moment. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, bro, yeah, 100%. That's what it felt for me. It was such a magnificent thing. I probably never will taste WrestleMania. It doesn't matter. Like I said, it could be something like 7 people, 700 people, 7,000, 70,000. Or when people are together and they're cheering you on, it's a magnificent feeling. No one can deny that. Like,
but you were like one of their own, like an original. They've seen you grow up.
Yeah, no, that's it. And like I said, the fans were so like responsive to me. And like I said, all I would do is, like, every time I wrestled, I want the best. I'd give everything I had. And yeah, I make mistakes, and yeah, I stiffed people. So be it. We make mistakes. But yeah, like, I gave everything, and that's all I ever wanted to do was just put on a show that people could enjoy. If I'm a good guy, you're going to cheer me. If I'm a bad guy, you're going to boo me. And if I can't do that, I'm not doing my job. So, you know, it wasn't the job, but you understand where I'm coming from.
I know you mean, man. I mean, it's still talked about. I mean, we're talking about right now. I think I've mentioned it on your stories before, and even a bit gutted it didn't last that long. But, you know, you still have that run. It's still in the record books. And then you had a rivalry with what's his name? Sebastian. What happened to him? What happened to him?
I actually spoke to Seb the other day. Actually, he's had a child. He's married. He's happy.
Good for him.
He's happy. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
And I really love that because, funnily enough, me and Sebastian, Karim, we trained together at LDN back in the day. So we started out, and I'll say we were meant to wrestle with each other at the final of the Natural Progression 3, but it changed for whatever reason. I'll never know why. Doesn't matter. I was still going up. Maybe he didn't want to do the job. I still think he's a good friend of mine. But old Bret Hart, but he's a Michaels fan. Doesn't make sense. But so yeah, the Seb stuff was magnificent, and like we got so much legs through an accident at Brixton. How about that? Because we were meant to blow it off at Brixton, but because of what happened, and you know, we got 3,000 people at Brixton Academy, magnificent time. And we jested, James Musselwhite and I jested, saying, like, it should just be a one and done. Just come straight out and lariat him, and 1, 2, 3. And we made a joke about that. And then it happened. We were meant to have a 15-minute match that happened, the same match that we kind of planned, happened at the ballroom about a couple of months later. But yeah, gimmicks, entrance, I've given him a lariat, I've hit him as hard as I'd hit any other brother in the ring. Probably only Hobo Phil got the true wrath of my right arm. If anyone knows about Hobo Phil and me giving him a lariat in Wales, it was out of the blue and it sounded like I knocked his soul out of him, but that's another story. But hit Sebastian and he got knocked out cold, and I remember it was terrifying because I thought I've blown this match. Not the fact that he was knocked out, because I heard him snoring. I thought, I hear him snoring, he's okay. Like, because I knew the brother, so it was like, you know what I mean? I remember.
Yeah.
Who's another one? Joel Allen. Ooh, another name. He didn't count the 3. So, like, he did the 1, 2. It weren't meant to be a 3. But, yeah, I remember he didn't. Heard him snoring. I thought, oh, dear. Oh, my days. I've blown the match. Got up and I just threw my roll off and I went, come on, Brixton. And then it was like, the crowd didn't know what to go on. I know I've just jumped into the Sebastian thing there. But, yeah, that was a very good run. We did a lot of good things, aside from me knocking him out at Brixton, which got me a lot of
just some good promo work, and it also just showed you got to show some more emotion as well. You know, it was really good, man. I'm gutted about that we don't see Sebastian in the wrestling scene these days. I mean, he's one of my first like heels in the British scene, especially Progress. That I thought what I actually didn't like as a character. That's a good heel.
Yeah, he was magnificent. He really was, and like you were saying about my kind of transition, I think he done a lot better in the geezer side of things. Well, actually, I'm talking absolute gas. Yeah, he should have stayed as Kensington's finest because he was a good heel. He had a great, MVP rip-off gimmick. Singlet, sorry. And he has a genuine heel personality in general. If you know him, he's just a natural heel. He's just magnificent. I think he let himself down with the geezers. He lowered himself.
I think because he got the endorsement from Austin. I mean, it's hard to sort of shy away from it, isn't it?
Well, I mean, if you're going to do an advert for anyone, like, I mean, it was a very good advert. I'm sure Austin weren't going to turn it down for his piss poor beer that I've never tasted. Oh, hell no. Anyway, tangents. Yeah, Sebastian, yeah, like, he after the clothesline thing, he kind of like changed his ways. I don't know. He should have stayed at Who He Was, and he had a great gimmick, and he had again. He come out of the pro job. We trained together earlier on, and he got great opportunities, and he was very good. He was really good, and yeah, I've got to catch up for a beer with him.
I'm going to switch off on the wrestling, just take a bit of a break. And I've never, ever spoken to 78, 77 episodes, right? This is the first time I've ever mentioned Lorraine Kelly. How did you end up on the show?
I tell you why, because I'm very hairy. I'm a very hairy man, and no, I got signed up with it was actually we were doing a Progress wrestling training at a gym in Covent Garden, Soho gym, one of those fancy gyms, and someone on a modelling agency just happened to be there. I was doing some deadlifts, and he just come up to me and goes, "Oh, you've got a really great look," and I thought, "What's this guy's angle?" And then he said, "True story," and I was like, "What's his angle?" And then he said, "Oh yeah, I've got like I work for an agency, a modelling agency called Ugly Models," and I thought, "Is he taking the piss?" And then he goes, "Yeah," he says something about he's got wrestlers on the. I said I was a wrestler. He said, "I got wrestlers on the books, Eddie Hall," and I was like, "He's not a wrestler." Anyway, and yeah, I got signed up to Ugly Models, and I used to get a few gigs here and there. I did Lorraine Kelly, I did 8-Bit Game with Dara O'Brien, a few bits. So I got asked one day when I was doing my shoot job, can you make it to White City for where the ITV studios were. Took me on Lorraine Kelly for a manscaping gig
Mhm.
where I got a few quid to shave my chest and be on Lorraine Kelly. I was like, yeah. Told my boss I ain't coming in. I'm coming in late because I'm going to be on telly. So, literally. But good. Here's the thing. I was backstage, right, in the green room. Lorraine Kelly came up to me, and she was very tactile. She was very touchy and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? And if anyone's seen it on live TV, she's actually like rubbing up my chest, and I goes, "Oi, oi, me too," because you know the Me Too movement. She froze. Magnificent stuff, you know. Always got to have a gag. But yeah,
yeah.
lovely.
Like, what exposure though, man! Like to just get touched up by Lorraine Kelly on like national TV, like on ITV.
I mean, I'm a humble man, but you blame her.
I'll let the listeners be the judges for that one, my man. Hello there. I've got a special announcement for my next guest.
This is the integrator, the Malik Bosidi, Mr. About Mine, Mr. Big Stepper of Culture Inc. Here on What You Call It podcast.
Yeah, I heard. There's another celebrity I want to mention that you got involved in terms of training and wrestling and amazing exposure. I mean, if you're from the UK, you're going to know who he is. KSI. How did you land that gig?
Honestly, like some of the things I was so lucky and blessed to kind of get involved with. I had no idea who this cat was. Like, Daryl messages me, goes, "Oh, we've got this comedian from YouTube." I was at a training session. He goes, "I've got this comedian YouTuber. Can you kind of help us out, like with training him?" I was like, "All right, sure." Like, no idea who it was. Met him, JJ, really lovely bloke, really down to earth, really naturally gifted, right? Really took to wrestling really well. He could have really done something. And it's good as well, you mentioned this. And we just done this stuff, and it helped me grow in my pastor character because I was finding my voice, and I said, "Oh yes, JJ," or whatever, some silly kind of voice I come up with. But we just burst off each other, and it was so natural. Obviously, everything was kind of set pieced, but it was like improv working with him. It was so lovely, such a wonderful guy, and the team around him were really lovely. And he got me like 1,500 followers on Instagram in like one post. I was like, "Yeah, cheers, G." Yeah, he was yeah, just like I said, it was just like, "Oh, can you do this?" Didn't know he was, didn't realize it. The minute Progress mentioned it, because we were going to have the payoff match, wasn't meant to be in the Arch at Brixton. It was meant to be at the ballroom, and it would have been me versus KSI at the ballroom. But because of the fans, and he did something out of line. I think he either said something about a girl's breasts or he groped the female. I don't know what it was at a Eurogamer convention. Forgive me, I don't know exactly what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But the fans started kicking off. John Briley lost his bottle. Said, "Oh no, Progress don't do nothing with them." Even though Progress done really well and ended up with WWE. In terms of exposure, not just for them, but for me also, whatever. Unreal. It would have been magnificent, and it would have got tons of turnouts. Yeah. No. They dropped the ball. They left it, and it still got tons of views. Loads of people really enjoyed my character, the bits we did.
Oh, mate, it's fun. If the listeners haven't seen it already, go on YouTube, search KSI Wrestling, and you'll see it straight away. I mean, the views are just fucking nuts.
And it was a laugh, literally. Like I said, it was improv. Everything was bad. So he'd say something, I'd work with it. And again, like it's act, react. That's something Tom Pritchard, I remember saying, act, react. And that's the business. That's how we work. You know what I mean? It's, you know, hokey stuff works and all that, but you do something, I react to it. Your action, my reaction, my reaction, your action, etc. Bang, bang, bang. And that's what it was with KSI. And that brother obviously did boxing and he's made a ton of money. He'd be a magnificent wrestler. He's just naturally a
so charismatic, man. He is. I'm not a big fan of the YouTubers in general. It's this generation, right? But KSI is so likable.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing. His character and who he is, it's so magnificent. Like, he's such a lovely guy. He comes across as like an arrogant prick, but he's further from it. And I was saying to someone the other day, actually, I said, I did a bit of KSI and I met Bazingwa. And Bazingwa was a knob. Like, in all fairness, we did something and it's just like, no disrespect. I'm sure the guy is changed now, but he was all right. He's up his own arse. Like, mate, you're a gamer. He's doing all right. Fair play to you. Glory to God. Anyway, KSI is a general. Lovely man.
No, good. Glad to hear, man. I think there's going to be a lot of listeners, especially UK. They'll know straight away, and they will probably find it, and they might even tweet it. If you do watch it, tell Bill what you think of it. I'll put your details in the description below, but we'll get to that at the end.